The SIAC rules require that before making any award, the tribunal must submit it in draft form to the registrar for scrutiny. This should be within 45 days from the date on which the tribunal declares the proceedings closed, unless the registrar extends time or the parties agree otherwise. The purpose of the scrutiny process is to ensure that every award rendered by an SIAC tribunal is compliant with the requirements of the New York Convention, so that it can be readily enforced in any country that has signed the convention. Let's look at an example of the kind of changes the registrar might recommend during the scrutiny of the award.
A simple error, however minor, could lead to a challenge if not rectified, and might raise difficulties at the stage of the award's enforcement. Other errors the registrar looks out for may include computational ones regarding damages, payable costs, and interest. SIAC also checks whether the tribunal has answered all issues that were raised by the parties in the dispute, whether the parties have been correctly identified, and whether the facts, figures, and the procedural history are consistent with the record. SIAC may also suggest modifications as to the form of the award, and, without affecting the tribunal's decision, may also draw its attention to points of substance. The scrutinized award is then transmitted back to the tribunal, which has the ultimate discretion to accept the changes suggested. The next step is for the registrar to work out the costs of the arbitration. You may recall that the total arbitration costs comprise first, the tribunal's fees and expenses, second, the SIAC's administrative fees and expenses, and lastly, the costs of expert advice and of other assistance required by the tribunal. In the event that the costs of arbitration determined are less than the deposits made, there will be a refund in the same proportions as the deposits were made, or as the parties may otherwise agree. Next, the registrar transmits the information regarding the final costs of the arbitration to the tribunal. The tribunal will also determine the apportionment of the costs of the arbitration among the parties. In accordance with Rule 33, it also has the authority to order that all or part of the legal or other costs of a party be paid by another party. The award is thus finalized and delivered to the registrar, who then transmits certified copies to the parties upon full settlement of the costs of the arbitration. There are provisions under Rule 29 of the SIAC rules for the correction of awards or for additional awards. With the costs fully paid and the award finally set in stone, the arbitration process is successfully concluded, just 13 months since the notice of arbitration was first filed. The next crucial step is enforcement.